Hey guys, welcome back to another Ripple lesson today on physics. Today we'll be talking about the difference between velocity and speed. Now, last time on the channel we went over displacement. As a quick reminder, displacement is how far you travel from your original starting point, and it is not equal to distance. Displacement is used and symbolized by delta x, and as a quick example, if you were to travel from point A to point B, and then back to point A, let's just say this was 5 meters, the distance would be 10, because you traveled 5 meters there, and you traveled 5 meters back. The displacement, however, would be 0, because you ended up exactly where you started. Now, let's move on to velocity. Velocity is to speed as displacement is to distance. To start, let's see the symbol for velocity. Velocity is characterized by delta v. Delta again meaning change in, and v meaning velocity. Now, like displacement and distance, it is important to note that velocity is not speed, but they are very, very similar. The main difference is velocity has magnitude. For example, if a car was to go 30 meters per second backwards, speed would characterize this as just 30 meters per second, while velocity would add a negative 30 meters per second because it is going backwards. Now we start with our actual first equation. Velocity is equal to displacement over time. Now, of course, these are changes in displacement in time, so really the equation would be displacement final minus displacement initial over time final minus time initial. Now, some of you might be confused on what exactly final and initial mean. And initial basically means the start. So for example, if I started at 3 meters and ended up at 9 meters, the displacement initial would be 3 and the displacement final would be 9. The same thing goes for time. Velocity is basically distance over time, but it's not, because if it was distance over time, that would equal speed. Speed's equation is distance over time, while our equation for velocity is change in displacement over change in time. Now let's do a few practice problems to show what velocity is. For example, Mr. P takes his dog Buster for a walk. If they walk for 27 minutes and they travel 2 kilometers east, what is their average velocity in meters per second? Now, the most important thing to do to start this problem is to convert all units. The problem asks for meters per second, but we're clearly given kilometers per minute. Therefore, we first make kilometers into meters, which is 2,000 meters, and 27 minutes into seconds, which is around 1,420 seconds. Now, in this case, we would then find the average velocity. Remember, velocity is change in distance or displacement over change in time. Remember, velocity is change in displacement over change in time. So let's write our variables out. Well, we first started as 0 meters and as 0 seconds. However, we quickly moved to 2,000 meters and around 1,420 seconds. Therefore, using this equation, we find that the average velocity is 2,000 over 1,420, or in this case, roughly 1.4 meters per second. And that is the average velocity of this problem. I hope you guys enjoyed learning with me, and I enjoyed learning with you. Thank you for watching another episode of Ripple.